In a land of dust and wandering lived a man with a promise. Abraham, chosen by God, called to leave everything familiar, and led by faith into the unknown. Years passed. Seasons changed. And the promise God gave that he would become the father of nations remained unfulfilled. Abraham and Sarah grew old. Too old, by all human measure, to carry such hope. Yet God's word never fades with age. One day, the Lord appeared to Abraham again. This time with a message that sounded impossible. At this time next year, Sarah will bear you a son. Sarah, listening from the tent, laughed. Not from joy, but from the weight of disappointment. Could such a thing happen now, after a lifetime of waiting? But God replied, "Is anything too hard for the Lord?" And heaven set its plan in motion. A year later, when Abraham was 100, and Sarah 90, the impossible happened. A cry broke the silence of their tent. A newborn's voice, fragile, pure, full of promise. They named him Isaac, meaning laughter, for God had turned their sorrow into joy, their waiting into fulfillment. Sarah held the child against her heart and said, "God has brought me laughter. And all who hear of this will laugh with me." Isaac's birth was not just a miracle. It was a reminder that God keeps his promises in his timing, in his way often far beyond what we imagine. But Isaac's story didn't end with his birth. For God would use him to test Abraham's devotion. One morning, God spoke, "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and offer him." The words tore at Abraham's soul. Isaac was not just a son, he was the promise, the future, the miracle. Yet Abraham obeyed. He gathered wood, took Isaac by the hand, and climbed the mountain God had chosen. Isaac, carrying the wood, asked, "Father, where is the lamb for the sacrifice?" Abraham's voice trembled with faith. God himself will provide. And he did. Just as Abraham raised the knife, the voice of the Lord called out, "Do not lay a hand on the boy." A ram stood caught in the thickets, God's provision, just as Abraham believed. Isaac lived. The promise continued. And through his line would come nations, kings, and eventually the Messiah himself. Isaac was more than a miracle child. He was proof that God is faithful, that no promise is too late, and no situation too barren for his power. Isaac's laughter still echoes through history, reminding us that God brings joy from impossibility, and life from places long thought dead. Isaac, the miracle child of promise. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, please like and subscribe for more content like this.